This video was requested by our loyal subscribers, so here's a shout out to you and we appreciate your support. In the first video, we covered some of the most counterfeit items that are not only duping people for their hard-earned money, but also pose a potentially dangerous health and safety hazard as well. If you haven't watched the first video yet, click on the link on the top right of the screen as you're missing out on a ton of information. So in this part 2 video, we're going to inform you of even more counterfeit items that you might wear every day, such as your Nike sneakers or the Yeti tumbler you drink your coffee that might contain high levels of lead. So do me a favor, smash on that like button and make sure to click on the notification bell to get notified of our new video uploads. Share this with others using the share links and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get to shopping, and hopefully after watching this video, you won't be tricked by counterfeits. Number 1. Fake Yeti Tumblers. The Yeti brand is known for their tumblers and coolers. Their products are also known as one of the most targeted by counterfeiters who make fake merchandises to try to resemble and be sold as the real Yeti brand products. According to NBC News, a lot of the fake counterfeit travel mugs trying to pass off as a Yeti brand have a high concentration of lead.
Cups. When you deal with Yeti cups and counterfeit merchandise, you're dealing with lead poisoning.
Yeti cups are just a few of the items that are sold illegally on various social media sites or flea markets. Many are claimed to be the real thing, but are made with different ingredients or materials and sold at a much cheaper price.
A lot of these items have been tested and lead has been found in them, aluminum, types of items, types of substances that aren't good for you. We're looking for stuff that causes cancer.
As we covered in our previous videos, exposure to lead can cause kidney and brain damage. In some cases, where the lead exposure is high enough, it can be fatal. NBC News also advises that some ways to try to identify if the Yeti mug is a fake is by checking the labeling and packaging to see if there might be hints. In this case, the counterfeiter need to take some lessons in spelling. If you look closely, Austin is spelled incorrectly as Austin, missing the T, and made is spelled incorrectly as mead, M-E-D-E. Other ways to ensure that you're buying the real product is obviously to buy directly from the Yeti website itself. Number 2. Nike sneakers are one of the most counterfeit items in the world, according to an article by ABC News. Nike is such a sought-after athletic brand by people all over the world that gives the counterfeiters the opportunity to try to cash in with fakes. In 2020, U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized up to $1.3 billion worth of counterfeit goods, in which fake Nike goods was also part of it. We have covered this in our video, the 10 Chinese knockoffs, where knockoffs are so obvious it actually becomes hilarious. They try to get away with names like Ike, Nicky, Mike, Hike, and Kine. These issues become worse when counterfeiters try to pass off fakes as a real Nike brand name and sell it for prices ranging from $5 to $200.
A massive shipment of counterfeit sneakers has been seized by federal customs officers. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says the sneakers were found in late September at the port of New York, Newark. So the footwear arrived from China and consisted of more than 9,000 pairs of fake Nike sneakers. If they were authentic, Customs and Border Protection says the sneakers would be worth nearly $1.7 million.
Some of the chemicals used in these counterfeit shoes are quite questionable as well. There are reports of people unknowingly buying counterfeit Nikes and other goods and then developing allergic reactions and rashes after wearing it, according to an article by Taipei Times. Nike is fully aware of this large counterfeit market of their products and encourages customers to buy directly from Nike.com or any Nike retail stores and other authorized Nike retailers to avoid buying dupes. Number 3. Counterfeit watches. More recently, in August of 2022, according to an article by CNN, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized nearly $7 million worth of Cartier jewelry and Rolex watches. Now, I know many of us cannot afford a Rolex watch, including myself, but it's not just Rolex that was being counterfeited, but other more affordable brands as well. Swiss watches are one of the most counterfeit watches in the world, second only to Rolex, due to counterfeit watches. According to a report by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Swiss watch brands had lost over $2 billion worth of sales due to counterfeit watches.
Customs and Border Protection officers in Louisville taking some fake watches right off the street. They say if these were real, they would have brought in over $26 million. Over 26,000 shipments containing counterfeit goods have been caught nationwide in 2020. The goods would have been valued at nearly $1.3 billion.
Branded accessories and apparels such as Ray-Ban sunglasses or branded clothing such as Adidas and Lacoste t-shirts, North Face jackets, and sport team merchandise such as team jerseys, Super Bowl, and World Series t-shirts. I personally bought a fake Yankee t-shirt when the Yankees won the World Series, and I noticed the shirt immediately, and when comparing the design to the authentic t-shirts that belong to my friends, it was far less in terms of overall quality. Best ways to stay clear of counterfeits is to buy directly from the brand's website. If some places offer discounts and merchandise that are just too good to be true, it might just be.
Border Protection officers in Kansas City seized more than $500,000 worth of counterfeit items just in the last month. That includes more than 469 counterfeit sports jerseys, some with Patrick Mahomes' name on the back. Operation Stop the Flow also collected 163 counterfeit designer handbags and sunglasses. It's all part of an effort to protect American consumers from more than $1 billion worth of online sales fraud.
Smartphones. This comes as no surprise. As we're entering the new tech age, smartphones are paving the way for the future, and there's no reason why counterfeiters will not adapt with the times to cash in on all the costly prices for the smartphone nowadays. Now, according to an article by the European Union Intellectual Property Office, up to 184 million counterfeit smartphones are sold globally every year, costing the legitimate smartphone industry up to $43 million and almost 13% of the total market share.
Honestly, I should know better.
Maxine actually needed a new phone, and Logan was planning to upgrade her iPhone 5S. The seller said they were brand new and a great deal. They bought 3 of them.
He showed us the phones. They came in an iPhone box, the whole case. They looked very legitimate, and he told us they're $250 each. I mean, that's a steal if you ask me.
These iPhones look like the real thing, but they were concerned the transaction was happening too fast. Once the man left and they got a better look at them, that's when they knew something was wrong.
According to Gizmo China, Samsung, Apple, and Xiaomi are the 3 smartphone brands are the most targeted for counterfeiters. Further concerns are if the smartphones are counterfeit, chances are they're running on a counterfeit software application as well. Who's to say these fake applications don't have malwares and other security breaching features that can compromise a smartphone user's privacy and sensitive information?
Most counterfeit phones will at least work well enough to allow you to make a phone call, but very quickly you're going to discover that you have an inferior device, especially after you discover it's loaded with malware that's stealing your personal information.
There are some applications that are like spyware, take your identity.
You're taking your chances when buying a phone online through a third-party, social media, or online auction website.
That's it for this list. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a video specifically focused on how to spot counterfeit products. For instance, how to spot a counterfeit handbag or how to spot a fake Yeti Tumbler. In the meantime, all we ask is for you to leave a like and a subscribe. Share this with your friends to make sure they don't get duped. Until then, stay informed and Genius Tomato out.